everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back. I missed you all for your 8th Season 3 episode review of The Rookie. It's been a hell of a month. It has been a hell of a week for me. Let me tell you what happened to me in this past month. It's been a roller coaster. Lots happened since we last were on the air for The Rookie. It's been a long 3 to 4 weeks. It's been long. But thankfully, The Rookie's back. At least for the next 4 weeks, so I'm very happy that we'll be able to talk about Rookie, at least for another month's worth of time, uninterrupted, hopefully, as we continue our way through Season 3. This week, oh man, I missed the show so damn much. We just went off we went off the races just like right away. It's just like we didn't even, we started all hot and we ended hot, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so fun. I love this show so much. I miss this show so much. And I'm happy to see that we're still exploring some things in this, what was I going to say? I'm happy that we're still progressing for everyone's, character development. We brought back a couple of old faces this week. We managed to kind of make I think this might be the funniest episode of The Rookie by far this season. There's just so many jokes that just hit, and I just loved it. Also, bringing back Oscar again from Season 2. It's like, oh man. I think it was also in Season 1. I think I'm not sure. I forget. My memory's been fuzzy since anything pre-season 2 has been very fuzzy. We've come a long way. But anyway, I really want to talk about this episode. Let's go for the butchered recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin with Nolan missing his big exam. Well, one of his big exams. I remember the days of college when you would have to like run to the classroom, take your big exam, and then leave. And you just don't have to stay. It's like, I miss those days. I don't want to go back to college anytime soon, but I'm like, I kind of like it. He misses it. There's a policy that he's not allowed to take it because he doesn't have a legitimate excuse. But the professor cuts him slack. By if he can answer her question correctly, she will allow him to take the test. Nolan, being purely Nolan on this, doesn't fucking know the answer right away. So she said, I'll give you a whole day to figure this out. So if you can do that, I will pass you. Oh, well, not pass you. I will give you the test. If you don't, then you get an F. So simple as that. Immediately after the races, we don't really get that much crossover with the storylines this week. Not as much per se as much. So we're really all over the place. So there's no real semblance to continue. We're just going to go through each of the individual storylines and just go from there. Let's go with Chen and Bradford this week. I completely forgot about this. I haven't mentioned it in the reviews thus far because I just forgot. Because it's the same thing with the whole Wes and Sterling situation where it was like, I completely forgot Sterling. I thought they were just going to write his character off because pandemic and they probably couldn't get the actor to come over from Canada. But no, he actually showed up, wrapped up his character, and then that was it. Bye-bye. This week, I completely forgot that Chen was hooking up with someone at the end of Season 2. One of Bradford's firefighter buddies. And I've completely forgot about their relationship since we had the whole the issue at the start of the season. Then we had everything else going on. I just completely forgot about him. And then, as cliche as it sounds, and it's probably because of pandemic reasons, they write him off via text, a breakup text. Why do people have no shame breaking up with people over text? I mean, is it so wrong to do it by face anymore? I mean, who knows? So yeah, Chen's feeling betrayed. She feels very upset, concerned, even though we haven't really got many updates from it. Even Bradford says later on that this is the first time he spoke about him in weeks. It's that obviously makes sense because for us as viewers, I completely forgot the character existed, and that sort of thing. Chen's trying to get advice from Wes and Bradford, just trying to see what is she gonna do in the situation. Obviously, they're let it go. There's nothing more you can do. He broke up with you for a reason. Just let it be. And plus, they're not even crossing paths that often. So I think she's in the clear for the time being. So from there, I think we get to the ride along with Bradford. Obviously, once again, she's asking him for advice. I completely keep forgetting, why does Chen keep bothering Bradford for advice? We all know he's not going to give that advice fairly easily, so I really don't know why she even tries anymore. But before they're able to, so then they just answer a house call, figure that thing out, and then Chen still badgering him about the whole thing. And then before Bradford's able to give his Bradford advice of the week, their car has been tagged. and it gives Bradford PTSD for some reason. Turns out, back when he was a rookie, around '06 to the 2010 period, he didn't say what year specifically. When he was a rookie, his car got tagged while he was literally like a few feet away from it. He's felt like this has been his like dying case to like solve and trying to like figure out who is the tagger and stuff like that. And they were only active for 4 years and then they disappeared. So Bradford assumed that either they died or they got arrested on something else. So Bradford never knew, and now this could be his chance for redemption to figure things out. So immediately he gets a move on to try and find any more tag locations. Of course, obviously, Chen is teasing him over the fact that he made a mistake as he was a rookie, like she's currently doing. So I love their banter so much, I really do. And then I believe we do get a little bit of a crossover with West this week as actually, yeah, this kind of intersects. So I'll let me get to the West storyline first. Let me cover part of it. So for West this week, again, it's back to now that the whole Doug situation is over. Now we're back on figuring things out. Like, what is West's future beyond the rookie program? Because they're really dragging out this rookie program. Like, it went down from the last 30 days. It's felt like forever now that we've been on the last 30 days. I know no one has an additional 30 days on top of that, so I'm aware of that. I know he already passed his that extra exam he had to take. I know he did that, but they're just dragging this out a little bit too much. Like, I kind of really hope we end season 3 with them out of the rookie program. You know what I mean? I'm hopeful. We'll see what happens. But then so Wes is obviously thrown in different directions. His father wants him to go to IA, Internal Affairs, get him a desk job, but beforehand he wants him to like work in other sections of the police of the service before he gets to that point. And again, similar to back at the seasons 2 start, because technically West does not have an official TO anymore because Lopez is now a detective still. Doug is kind of like, okay, he's gone. Doug's gone. Thankfully, he's gone. And so it's up to Gray to like finish off his period and give him his opportunity to be a TO and give him his advice that he thinks that Wes should be at the academy teaching, which I'm thinking like, wait, he's still really young. I mean, technically you really want people who have had experience to train at the academy. And he says almost the exact same thing. But he said Gray says like, if you can get to them now while they're fresh and young, you can prevent officers like Doug from ever happening again. Which honestly is a fair fact, but obviously Wes kind of wants to do his own thing, so he's really kind of stuck between those two positions, between his father and his commander. But then ironically, they run into the tagger, the one that Bradford's been like hammering over about. So while they were about to begin hopefully another amazing chase sequence, but Gray throws out his back. Oh man. So of course West makes the right call to stay behind and make sure Gray's fine. Thankfully Chen and Bradford show up as well, so Chen stays behind to help Gray while Bradford goes up to try and catch this person. And after a very tense, like, walking up, trying to find this tagger situation, I knew in the back of my mind, like, that tagger stayed behind and tagged his car, didn't he? Didn't they? And then, yeah. And his reaction was so perfect. I'm like, oh, man, this episode. It was just so good. Just seeing Bradford just, like, struggle to, like, keep his calm and composure and, like, he being more pissed off than usual. Oh, man, I love this Bradford. I really do. So then they, so back to the other girls. Now I think one of the only brief times we cross over the storylines. Chen and Gray, Chen and Wes are taking care of Gray, making sure that he's fine. The ambulance shows up, and of course there's an attractive ambulance dude. I forgot, EMT. Immediately recognizes Chen. Well, they both recognize each other as he's friends with the guy that just broke up with Chen. They're friends, so he immediately recognizes Chen, immediately giving her compliments and affection, and Chen having a bit of a weak spot for like, well, I was just dumped via text, and this is one of his good friends, so I'm gonna go out with him just to spite him, and he immediately accepts. And to be honest, he's not wrong. So Chen and Bradford head off to go do their own storyline. She advises Wes to give him her phone number to kind of contact for a date later. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the Wes storyline was kind of quick this week. So we cut back to the hospital. Gray's been checked up. He's good. He's good to go. The commander dad shows up, fearing that once again his son was back in the hospital. It's not the case, but the two talk about like what Wes's future should entitle, and they both have disagreements. Obviously, of course, because like one is his father, who obviously fathers know best, but also the other one's the commander, who's like, hey, he's kind of like one of the big dogs, in the department. So it's like he has a say of it too. And Wes shows up. He kind of interrupts the two, said like, look, you don't need to decide my future for me, or something along that lines. He just says something along the lines of, I'll let you two go back to planning out my life, and he goes away. I don't believe we get anything else with those two. I believe this was kind of like a quick like we didn't really need like a big, like we had a lot of West storyline earlier this season, so it was kind of okay for him to like kind of take a little bit of a step back, a little bit, because then we cut later back to Gray's office, where Wes summons him and his father to let them know that he's not considering either paths that they're setting up for him right now. He wants to find out his own path and figure out how to get there on his own. He will come to them for advice, and they're both okay with that. They were like, you know what, yeah, it is your call in the end. You should really be the one determining this. So yeah, that was kind of a nice way, and also give Wes kind of like the opportunity to like figure things out as he goes, and who knows what comes for him next. And then back to Chen and Bradford. I believe, where do we go? Yeah, so I think they're heading back to the shop to get a new car again, and Bradford is telling her like, "Are you really wanting to go out with this guy for the right reasons? Because it just seemed like you were very quick to do this because he's only the best friend to the guy who just broke up with you." And he even said it right, like when you were in this relationship with the other guy, like were you making sure that this was an actual legit relationship and not a spree of hookups? Because he's got a point there. Like if a guy's willing to settle down, but if the girl doesn't want to, and don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure sex is a great thing, but eventually the older you get, or maybe like just depending on how you feel, like you eventually want to really like settle down and like develop something more than just sex. So I'm pretty sure the guy probably felt the same way. I'm pretty sure Chen just didn't know. Because I'm not even excusing Chen out of this. Because like, even that time period, like, Chen was still recovering from the events of the season 2 mid-season finale. So she was still like dealing with some stuff here. But it's been a while now, and it's not meant to say like, oh, that easily goes away. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying as a TV show, we've been doing this stuff for like forever now. So you kind of have to see my point here, but before they can continue this conversation, they find someone on the street. Their leg's broken. They just fell off a billboard, and then Jen looks up and they just make the connection that this is the tagger. It's a woman, and Bradford just has the best reaction. Like, you're the tagger. I've been looking for you for so long, and he was like so ready to handcuff her. Well, sort of. So we cut to the hospital. Bradford's talking to her. Apparently, her life story is that she did the tagging thing while she was young and, when she was wild and energetic, and then she got married, and then the guy, I think her husband cheated on her. I believe that's the case. And so she kind of felt betrayed and destroyed, and she kind of had a little bit of a reminder of like how life was before then. So she wanted to feel young again, so that's why she went back to tagging. Bradford kind of hearing her story, kind of like, it's a good heart. He has a little bit of a good heart left in him, and he lets her go. Just lets her off with a fine, ending a decade-long story in Bradford's book. And then Chen also gets to meet up with the ambulance dude. They talk about it, and Chen reveals that she didn't really have the best intentions for that date, so she kind of has to politely decline the date for now, which he understands. Nice dude, and he said like, well, hopefully in 2 weeks down the line, when I ask you out again, hopefully maybe you'll feel differently. So it's like, I'm happy that Chen is getting a little bit more options, but I'm still very bummed that like the other dude didn't really have a chance to like grow. And I think that's a stake with romance that I know. Who knows? So on to back to Nolan and Harper, because I completely missed them, but they're like, I'm gonna speak a lot about them. I'm gonna probably grab my tea in a few minutes to kind of refresh up. Lopez comes into Gray's office and she wants to request Nolan and and Harper's assistant on a case because while she was talking to Wesley about just some pregnancy stuff, just about trust things that they have to settle for their future child. She got assigned to this case where someone's kidnapped, and then the supposed person who the only suspect they have is related to someone that we met before in the past. That's right, good old Oscar. Remember him from season 2? Remember him from the Fallout episode review I did? Remember him? Remember the Ride Along 3 episode I did? Those episode reviews I did. Yeah, it's him. He's back, and he's, oh man. And obviously Lopez cannot get near him because this is the same guy that stabbed Wesley and nearly scared the entire fandom for weeks on end. But he's back, and she can't be around him because I'm pretty sure she's gonna kill him. So she wants Nolan and Harper to kind of be her mediators on this one to kind of help her out, her extensions. They agree. They head over to the first they hit up the house of the kidnapped. Where again there's really no leads. They're just trying to like really calm them down a little bit, and just trying to figure things out. So they immediately, supposedly they have no leads, and they have to go directly to him to kind of find this daughter he has that we never knew about, which obviously he never knew about because according to him, he was a player back in the day, and he slept around a lot. Probably a condom broke at some point. Who knows? So they visit him. Immediately the energy's back, the magic's there. Like, oh man, I love this actor so much. He's a funny dude. Immediately he's kind of like, he's already back up to his deal making schemes. Like, I miss this guy. This guy's a piece of shit, but I really miss him. I really did. He agrees to help find the supposed mother of his child if he gets a day pass, which sadly they have to comply. And his fashion style should really definitely get an update. I'll say that much. So they begin onwards to try and find to find the mother of his child. It's basically just a brief look into his past, where it's he's calling up his old flings, and most of them hate his guts, and even he gets one on the phone. It's she's willing to hook things back up again, and Harper just pulls away the cards nope, this is not a dating app where it's you're just calling up bimbos. I'm sorry about that. We need your help on the case, otherwise you're going back to prison. And eventually just says well, look, there's this one woman I really had a thing for. She probably is the mother. Let's go to the diner. So they head to the diner. Also, Nolan, throughout this entire endeavor, has been asking Harper, and also this guy, about the questions that he has to answer for his professor. And, it's a bit of a complex question, since the question is, what would you do in terms of, trying to get the arrest at the end of the day when it comes to a witness saying that, oh, I'm pretty sure the suspect was black, but I'm sure he has a tattoo, too. Which I'm wait, so you know a very specific thing about him, but you don't know his ethnicity. So it's that's kind of a bit weird. And, he's trying to figure out the correct answer to this. But before we get to that, they head into the diner. They find the woman, and immediately it's okay, they used to love each other, but there was never any child between them. And then the other waitress comes back saying, you son of a bitch. And it's oh my god, this guy does not know how to be loyal to a fault. He does not. Yeah, she's the mother. They had a kid together, and the other waitress was they were both ready to pounce him had Nolan Harper not intervened. It was just so fucking funny. But yeah, so they tell him about the daughter probably has a connection to a kidnapping, so they gotta find her. They eventually do find her. They bring her in via the good old-fashioned way of exposition. So they bring her into the station, kind of a weird way, hey, you're kind of a suspect in this kidnapping case, also here's your father, your long-lost father from prison. It's honestly, that should have been a reality show episode. It's done, but that would have been a soul pilot right there. Oscar tries to weasel his way out of this by proving that, hey, I could be her lawyer, so we can have some privacy. Which sadly, the daughter does agree with, so Nolan and Harper have to leave the room, and the guy's immediately yeah, you kidnapped him, didn't you? It's well, not really. It was just a scheme to get some money, weasel some money out of his parents who just cut him off. He's smart. So it's look, just follow my lead, and we'll get out of this. We won't have to spend time in a prison cell or a jail cell or whatever. So they bring Nolan and Harper back in. He tells them the whole shebang, and it seems like Oscar's just willing to tack around even more. And I believe we start heading back to the apartment. Did we head back to the apartment? Yeah, I think we start heading back to the apartment where he's staying at the kidnap. So they head back to the apartment. We're kind of ready to like wrap this case up, and then as soon as they show up, they find a struggle. They find blood on the floor. It's like, no, this case is far from over. Meanwhile, back at Lopez's station, where she's guarding the family, or she's with the family of the kidnapped. She gets a mysterious delivery from this service that can like move things from point A to point B, which is like, where is this app and where is it? Because I would have definitely used this, like, contact George, like, look, send me the gifts you were going to give me for Christmas, my birthday, so that, we can get this over with. I'm joking. And then from there, yeah, so it turns out the package was a mysterious blood vial. And I'm just going to say this. These people have no fucks. Like, they're demanding $1 million. They want the blood samples, and I'm just, like, thinking, you're really gonna you drain a pint of blood out of this dude just for the sake of having $1 million? Okay, so the case is not over yet. Then I believe from there, do we escort them back? Yeah. So the FBI gets intervened. Immediately, the whole thing from the start of the season with the whole like, oh, if a pregnant woman's gonna immediately get side bench, which is the case for Lopez since she is starting to get to showing more of her belly. So the FBI guy immediately makes that a discrimination fact on her, and tells her like, hey, you can go home, you can go relax your feet or something. It's like, these sons of bitches, they never quit. Nolan and Harper come in with the with Oscar and the daughter. Immediately, it's like, oh my god, Oscar, you are a piece of work, but I love you. I really do. Like, he just torments everyone. Like, he's just thinking of himself, but it's so funny. So they hand them both over. They're basically off the case. Well, supposedly, as we see. The FBI guy tries to interrogate Oscar. He's not really budging that much. However, Oscar has a plan. He always has a plan. He's trying to escape. So he tries to escape. He jumps off the freaking second floor bedroom, and immediately Nolan and Harper were up to his bullshit. It's like, you're pretty predictable by this point. Like, we only known you for like, I think 3 episodes by this point, but like, we know you're predictable. So they bring him in. They're about to head him back to prison. And then he has one more piece of information for them. Apparently, the only other person who knew about this scheme was a drug dealer who operates a chop shop. So they head over there. They immediately find the dude. I think it was kind of a quick. I didn't remember any gunfights. Was there gunfights? I just finished that scene like 20 minutes ago and I already forgot. This is why you should go watch the episode. Don't listen to me fucking recapping this. But they get the guy back. It's all said and done. The Oscar and his daughter are in jail. Thankfully, Nolan kind of like escorts her out with a cupcake, and Nolan, being Nolan, gives him an honest piece of advice, like, now that you're a father, you should consider changing, because being a parent means that you're gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices for them, and if you want to be part of your daughter's life from now on, you're gonna have to make some changes, even though you're stuck in prison for another 40 years. But who's counting? I believe from there, I think that's the end of that storyline, for the most part. Nolan heads back to the school to tell his professor, look, I don't have a solid answer for you. But what I do have is that I know being on duty, you figure things out a lot, and the thing is that I'm not going to choose the racist answer by just interrogating all the black guys, but I'm not going to just take the word of one witness, because that can also lead to a false arrest. Like, I'm just going to do what I think is best, and whatever happens. And she's like, yep, that's the right answer. You can go take your test. And I'm like, no, it's like that victory. Yes! It's like, oh, I love him. Oh, James Gunn, you better not kill him in the Suicide Squad movie. You better not. I'm going to kill you. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Do what you want. I trust you. Yeah, and then that ends the week. I believe... Do we get another cliff? No. That's it. I mean, the promo for the, it's like, I really want to talk about. Like, I'm going to save that for next week because I just want to finish this one. So, but anyway, oh yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this episode was really funny. It was probably the most funniest episode of the whole season. I really enjoyed it. I really did. I really am curious to see what they're going to do with Wes next. I know I've been clamoring for the last couple of weeks, like, let's bring Doug back. Let's kind of continue that storyline. Because they did say in the interviews, like, they would consider bringing Doug back if the popularity was enough. I do think there is potential to kind of, like, not redeem him, like, kind of tell a little bit more story. Not right now, but, like, a little bit more down the line. So I am very curious to see what they're going to do with Wes. Chen is, we're getting stuff for her, but it's like I'm starting to wait. I really want to wait for like what's that one thing that Chen's gonna do. I just completely remember. Oh, never mind. I forgot she had that girl she's mentoring. I completely forgot about that. So never mind. And no, oh yeah, the last thing I forgot to mention. Nolan and his professor. What's with women like just wanting to get with Nolan? Like first we had the CIA, the CIA lady from season 1. Then we had his ex-girlfriend who became a doctor, and yeah, now this season we're getting a professor. Like, geez, this. Oh, also we had Chen too. I forgot about that. You see, this is why my memory's not so great. So you don't take my word for it. But she was definitely throwing me some like, Nolan's not a bad person. I think he's attractive, but I think they're gonna wait till like the semester's over, then they're gonna do something because I don't think having a professor-student relationship is quite smart, especially since no one really wants to be a T.O. Yeah, T.O. someday down the line. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, I give this episode 2 thumbs up. I really did enjoy it. I really miss the rookie a lot. I can't wait for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I don't mean that as the end of the season. I just mean like I'm just so happy to be consecutively reviewing again and viewing things and getting to be on Twitter for everyone, just seeing all the tweets. I miss this time period in my life. But I think that's going to do it for me tonight because it is late. Because ABC, if you whenever you renew Rookie for season 4, give me an earlier time slot. I'm just 10 o'clock is just really late for me to, and then I have to do this whole thing. Whatever. So if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more What's in the Tube, besides our Rookie season 3 episode reviews, we're also doing Nancy Drew season 2 episode reviews each and every Thursday morning after a brand new episode on Wednesday nights on the CW. We also do Walker episode reviews each and every Friday morning after a brand new episode on Thursday nights on the CW, or both of them free on the next day on the CW app. Currently, we are on break for Walker for one more week. This week, we're doing a quick impressions on Close Enough. So that's going to be fun. And then after that, I think for a while, we'll be kind of set with everything else. I believe so. I think Nancy Drew's due for hiatus too. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. But also, again, we also released our 169th episode of What's in the Tube, where we talked about Zane's The Jump Off. So if you really are into the adult erotica shows, I talked about that for a good chunk of time. So go check that out if you want to. But if you don't care about the Rookie, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another episode review for you next Monday morning. Can't wait for that. The promo, the opening line, I'm pretty sure they were misdirecting us, but I swear to God, my season 2 prediction better not come true, because otherwise I'm going to punch myself in the stomach so many times. I really would. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, if you're unaware, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube.com. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live, which is every Monday morning. Like, favorite, share this review if you want to, but it does help us get us out there to other members of the Rookie Nation that has yet to discover us, and it helps us with the YouTube algorithm, as well as it's for free. Sharing is for free. Follow us on Twitter to be updated with any updates. Follow us on Twitch for any streaming if we ever get to do that again. And for everyone in the Rookie Nation, I missed you so much. I really did. I can't wait to enjoy the next few weeks with you while we can. Damn you, COVID pandemic and freaking hiatuses. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And, as always, peace out.